So you've introduced a nipple shield to help you overcome a breastfeeding challenge, but now breastfeeding is going much better for you and you really would like to feed without nipple shields. If you wonder how to go about weaning off nipple shields, then stay tuned for this video. Hi ladies, I'm Regina Kincaid. I'm an international board certified lactation consultant, a mum of 4, and online course creator of Breastfeeding Basics, a practical guide. First of all, there are several valid reasons for breastfeeding with nipple shields, and I think it's always better for baby to breastfeed with a nipple shield at the breast than not be at the breast at all and being bottle fed. Like with everything, practice makes perfect, so do allow yourself some time and be patient with yourself and your baby. The literature says that it takes a mother-baby pair anywhere from 2 days up to 4 to 5 weeks on average to wean off a nipple shield completely, and gradual weaning seems to be more common and, from my experience, also more successful than going cold turkey. In fact, a very close friend of mine had been feeding her newborn baby for the last 4 weeks with a nipple shield, and she had been trying consistently to wean baby off the nipple shield. Until one Sunday afternoon, when herself and her husband had finally settled baby for a nap, and she was asking her husband honestly whether they should take this time that they had available to them to go for a walk, or whether she should go and have a shower, and her husband suggested she should have a shower. So in she went in the shower, and as it happens, while she was in the shower, baby started stirring. And it was a warm summer's day, so the husband was topless, and so he just picked up the baby and put baby skin to skin, and baby started rooting on his chest. So he called my friend out of the shower, quick, come, she's rooting, she's looking for the breast. So my friend got out the shower, still topless, placed the baby on her chest, and baby started latching on, and from then on started feeding without nipple shield, and she successfully fed that baby for 18 months, I believe it was, in the end. So this story just goes to show you that your hard work and being persistent will eventually pay off. This example shows you that it is a good idea throughout the weaning process to offer plenty of skin-to-skin contact. Not only will this help to calm you and your baby when things get a little bit stressful, but it also gives your baby plenty of opportunity to familiarize herself with the breast. Taking a bath with your baby is great bonding time and a great way of offering that skin-to-skin contact. When you make that decision to wean your baby off the nipple shields, it is advisable that you check in with your healthcare provider, so that your healthcare provider, be it your lactation consultant, your midwife, or your doctor, can make a plan with you and regularly monitor your progress and monitor baby's weight and hydration and general well-being. It is a good idea when you're starting out that you do offer the breast even a little bit more frequently than what you would usually do, just to ensure that baby is getting enough milk and that baby is not hungry. In fact, when you're starting out to offer the breast without the shield, it might be a good idea to offer the breast when the baby is still a little bit sleepy, because when they're not that hungry yet, when they're still a little bit sleepy, a little bit drowsy, they're most likely more receptive to take the breast without the shield. Babies are creatures of habit like us all, so they do get used to the plastic, the shape and the texture of the nipple shield. So if there is any way that you can make your breast a little bit more shield-like, that might help your baby to successfully latch onto the breast. So what can you do to achieve the breast being more shield-like? If your challenge was to begin with that you were dealing with flat or inverted nipples, then it can help to stimulate your nipple prior to breastfeeding. So you can do that by just nipple stimulation, a little bit of hand expressing, or you can use the pump just for a few minutes to pull out the nipple, so to invert the nipple more. Pump just for a few minutes, and that can bring out the nipple, and then baby might be more willing and more successful attaching to the breast. What the pump or hand expressing can also achieve is your milk flow. So creating a letdown or milk flow before you attach the baby will help baby, because they don't have to work and stimulate hard initially to get the milk to flow. And if they come onto the breast and they have to work for the milk flow first, then they might not be quite as willing to continue sucking on the nipple shield because there's no reward. While you're preparing your breast for latch on, it might be a good idea to invite your baby to draw in your little finger for some sucking practice. Make sure you've washed your hands with soap and water, and offer your finger, your pinky, with the nail down towards the tongue and the fingertip towards the palate. And you can stroke baby's nose and upper lip a little bit and wait for baby to open wide, put her tongue down and forward, and draw in your finger, and then let your baby suck on your finger. The way baby's taking the finger, when you wait for that wide open mouth for the tongue to go down and forward, that's the motion baby will have to do with her tongue at the breast. Whereas on the teats, the tongue doesn't usually have to go quite as slow. So that can be a good practice for getting baby ready to suck directly on the breast. It is also suggested sometimes that you put an ice cube just for a few seconds, not for longer, to avoid frostbites, onto the nipple to harden the nipple a little bit, to make it more shield-like, but that might not be for everyone. Another way of how you can make the breast or shape the breast more and perhaps harden it more and make the nipple areola area come out more is offer the breast in a sandwich hold. So the sandwich hold would mean that you kind of compress the breast away from the areola to help the areola and nipple to come out more and make that area a little bit firmer so that it feels more shield-like, and baby might be more willing or more accepting to attach to the breast when it feels a little bit firmer. If your usual feeding position doesn't work right away, try offer the breast in different feeding positions. Offer the breast in the rugby hold, or even lying down as a different angle might help the baby to latch on better. Just ensure that you always have the principles of good positioning in place. The word chin can help you remember the principles of good positioning. So chin stands for C for keep your baby close, H for head free, I for in line with the body. So you don't want to have baby's head and body twisted. So baby's head and body in a straight line, and N for nose to nipple. So when you're starting out, start out nose to nipple. I have a printable of favorable breast holds in different feeding positions, which I have linked in the description box for you below. When you're first starting out the weaning process, you might prefer not to take off the nipple shield right away, but let baby feed with the nipple shield like they're used to for some time until the milk starts to flow and the baby is quenching her initial hunger and her initial thirst. And then as they're filling up and they might get a little bit drowsy, quite content lying there on the breast, you try and sneak the shield away and keep the baby interested in the breast. Try keep the baby on. Some mums stand up and walk around as they are doing that, as the rocking motion might help distract the baby from the sudden transition, from the sudden change of feeding without shields. Gradually reduce the time you're feeding with shields until eventually you can offer some feeds completely without the shield. Try to pick a time when your baby is more receptive to try out new things, when your baby is in good form. A lot of babies tend to be in good form in the morning. When they are cluster feeding at night time, they're stimulated from the day and tired. It might not be the best time to try. If your baby gets frustrated, abandon trying for that feed and try again the next time, as breastfeeding should remain a joyful experience for you and your baby. Like I mentioned earlier, babies, like all of us, are creatures of habit, and once they are used to feeding on the breast with a nipple shield, it might be quite challenging to change that behavior. So if you do not succeed, do not despair. It is possible to breastfeed with shields for long term. There are just a few things that you need to take care of if you continue your journey with nipple shields, and I will cover those in a separate video. If you would like to know how to correctly use and apply a nipple shield, you might be interested in my online breastfeeding course, Breastfeeding Basics, a Practical Guide, which is currently available on teachable.com for only €10, and I will link it for you in the description box below. If you have breastfed with nipple shields and have successfully managed to wean your baby off nipple shields, I'd love to know what helped you to make that transition, so maybe just leave me a comment below. Until next time, hope your breastfeeding journey is going well. You might have also heard about the suggestion of cutting your nipple shield until it is almost gone to coax your baby into feeding on the breast. I would not recommend this practice at all, because when you cut the nipple shield, it can leave sharp edges, and that could be very dangerous to your baby and to your breast, really.